Welcome to TechMark Pod, where we innovate, discuss, and discover the dynamic intersection of technology and marketing. In each episode, we explore how businesses can leverage both to drive growth and innovation. Meet Alvin, our esteemed host for TechMark Pod. With over 15 years of experience as a renowned marketer, project manager, and software as a service architect, join us as we uncover the unique value proposition of integrating technology and marketing strategies, helping you stay ahead in this fast-paced digital world.
Hi everyone, welcome to TechMark Pod. So today's episode is quite interesting. Today I've been joined by my sister, Fadzisai Matewa. Do you like the name Stephanie, or do we just use Fadzai?
Fadzisai.
Fadzisai, okay.
V or Fadzisai or Stephanie, whichever one is fine.
Okay, cool. Fadzai, welcome to TechMark Pod.
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
Definitely. You're actually making it more exciting. I mean, you being my sister, and I haven't known you for so long, and just to reconnect as family and talking about tech, I mean, it's amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So far, we're gonna start from where you started. I know you. I don't know where you started. So you're gonna have to explain this slowly, where you started, what you started, and where you are now in tech world.
All right. So, funny enough, my background is in accounting and finance. So
Yeah.
my degree is actually in accounting and finance. I'm also a CIMA member as well, Chartered Institute of Management Accounting. However, somehow along the way, I found myself in tech. How I found myself there is quite interesting because at the time it was really hard to get roles within my industry, right? But then you know how it is when you're fresh out of university, you want to work. So the first job I ever did was customer service, but when I did customer service, it really wasn't gelling with me. So I started exploring other things. It took me a lot of time until I got a referral to do something more towards business development in tech for a SaaS company, which is SAP. And at the time, I wasn't I knew nothing about tech. And I also never saw myself as a salesperson as well. I'm a very shy person. So I was like, can I really do this? But then when I saw the potential dollar signs, I was like, you know what, you'll figure it out. So that's how I basically got into tech. So that was the first role I did in terms of technology related. So it's basically the same thing that I'm doing now, but I mean the responsibilities have evolved over time. But I've worked for companies like SAP, mainly worked with Google as well, and they have different divisions, which is Google Cloud, Google Workspace. I've also worked with Red Hat as well, in terms of helping companies adopt technology and help these companies achieve their business goals through technology adoption. So it's really been an interesting journey. It's been challenging because you're doing something that you're technically not trained for, so you have to do a lot of self-learning, self-improvement, and you also have to be creative because it's new, so it's kind of like diving into the ice water, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely have to be courageous because and I always tell people, a lot of people ask me, oh, you know, they feel like it's something big. I'm like, actually anybody can do it, you just have to believe you can. So yeah, that's where I am now.
I think it's quite amazing that you pivoted from accounting to tech, and that deserved a little bit of sharing. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I just want to know, what does it take for somebody to pivot from accounting to tech?
So I think what I would tell people is that, being, especially like if you're a fresh graduate, being in university and working are really two different things.
Yeah.
Most companies, when you get into a role, of course, there's an expectation that you have certain skills, but there are also certain things that they will also teach you. So they're not just gonna throw you in the deep end. So that's why I said anybody can do it actually.
Mm,
That's first thing. The second thing I would say is we have been taught to rely on the fact that if you are a university graduate, that's what makes you capable. But I can tell you honestly, even certifications, people who have certifications are actually more qualified to actually do certain roles than someone who's a university graduate because they are more practical oriented. They can actually produce the results that are required for those particular roles. So you might find that you don't have to do a three-year degree in order to perform a certain role, right? For example, I know you're a solution architect. You actually don't need to be a university graduate to be a solution architect. You can do the certifications online and so forth. So pivoting is not that hard. It's just that people tend to look down on themselves and they don't realize that there are other pathways and there are other options of entry into any industry, especially tech.
yeah, that's correct. That's true. I think that's quite an interesting topic, I should say, because many people become rigid because of what they learn in university, and they
Mm,
don't see themselves in tech, and maybe they just stick to accounting. And surprisingly, I don't know, but if you realize, most of us, when we went to university, if you didn't have a parent that went through university, most likely you just did a degree for the sake of doing it, without
exactly.
understanding if you're actually passionate, in that certain subject.
Hmm.
So I concur with you to say it's easy to actually pivot from accounting to tech. And personally, I'm a marketer, and I pivoted to tech, and I still do marketing and tech at the same time.
Hmm.
But it was not difficult for me to be developing websites, to be a project manager in tech. It was not difficult, you know.
Mm.
And maybe it's passion as well. I don't know what you think. Probably it's passion as well.
I think I definitely agree with you when it comes to passion. So, I mean, we're Africans, our parents, they want us to do the things that everyone needs to be a doctor in an African family, you know.
Yeah,
But so it's really challenging to understand that you can actually be very successful at things you're passionate about because when you spend 5 hours doing something you love, it doesn't feel like 5 hours. But when you spend 10 minutes doing something that you're not really passionate about, it's like mental torture. So I think
yeah,
that's one thing in terms of our culture as Africans that we are still learning to grasp. So you will even see it in other industries like sport. Before they'll say, "Oh, don't play football, come and read." Now that
yeah.
they're millionaire footballers, parents
To
want
go to football as well.
go and
Yeah,
you see. So it's hard as
mm,
because of our culture to really convince people that actually whatever you do, if you're passionate about it, you can actually be the best because you do it with ease. You don't mind the suffering that comes with putting in your time to learn and so forth because it's something that you actually enjoy doing.
definitely. And what was the transition for you from Zimbabwe to Malaysia?
It was very interesting. It was exciting because, you'll be feeling like, oh, I'm away from my parents. I can do whatever I want, you know. But there was a lot of um, adjusting to the culture, being away from your parents, learning to be responsible. You know, now everything that they used to push you to do when you're a child and you're like, oh, my parents are so annoying. Now you start understanding why they were telling you to do those things or why they were putting in that training. So I think for me, it wasn't that hard because I had a very good foundation, thankfully, in
Yeah,
terms of remembering the things I learned from growing up and everything. So It wasn't very hard. I would say not everybody took the right path in terms of the
Mhm.
people that were around me at that time. But I will say this in tribute to my late grandma. She would always say to me, the main thing about the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. You know? So, so I would always remember that in whatever I was doing.
No, she deserves a round of applause. That's a proper quote right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take
So no,
you as
when I was leaving Zimbabwe, she called all the
yeah.
mothers union to the house, and then they
Oh
told me
goodness.
all these things. So every time she would call me when I was in university, she would ask me to repeat that quote.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in terms of what you're doing at the moment, working with Google, working with SAP in Malaysia, do you think that the working environment and culture is it far different from working in Africa or in Zimbabwe? Wait, is
So
Malaysia is in Asia, not in Africa, right? Sorry, I was confusing the two.
okay, I have never worked in Africa, so I can only tell you from a social perspective.
Yeah,
So I went home last year. That's the last time I went home.
yeah.
I actually struggled, but I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I struggled because um back home everything is a bit slow. People
Mm,
wake up and then they have their breakfast and then they go to but out here it's like from the moment you wake up it's go 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 go. So I think so I wouldn't know what the work environment is in Africa, but in
yeah,
terms well, there are a lot of in terms of tech industry and working, there are a
yeah.
lot of differences. So like I said, it's a go go go. You need to deliver. You need results
Wow.
consistently. Um, there are a lot of things that they give you to try and make your job easier and more comfortable and all those things. But in giving you all those things, they also expect a lot from you.
Mm,
So there's no room for slack. So especially for me, I'm working in a sales oriented role. So you really need to bring in the money. Eh,
yeah.
yeah. So if you're not bringing in the money, it can be very difficult for you to sustain yourself or keep up because they will send you a calendar invite and ask you what's the problem.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
hectic. That's hectic.
Yeah.
So, are you working with a small business or you are working with enterprise in terms of a clientele?
Okay, so I mean, over the years, I've covered different types of companies. So
Mm-hmm,
from top to bottom, so startups, SMBs, enterprise, mid-market, so even government, education, and so forth. Right now, I'm working with SMBs in Australia and New Zealand.
mm-hmm,
So sometimes SMBs does also include startups as well.
mm-hmm.
Just trying to help them figure out their roadmap in terms of adopting cloud technology. Um, a lot of them are looking to build platforms and so forth. So they will be deciding which technologies they're going to choose and how that's going to help them achieve their end goal. So that's my current role.
Okay. Um, I want to get deeper into your role, all right? This is a digital transformation role, all right? You're gonna have to explain to us, like 3 year olds, because we don't know anything about digital transformation. I'm
Mm-hmm,
speaking on behalf of everyone, not myself.
mm-hmm,
And I just want to understand what it entails, digital transformation for these SMBs and startups, right? And
mm-hmm,
definitely, TNG Solutions is a startup company.
mm-hmm,
We building our own tech, and of course
mm-hmm,
we would want to then find what infrastructure should we use and where should we host our tech and everything.
mm-hmm.
But let's start from what you are doing and which countries you cover, because now you have told me about Australia. I didn't know that you're covering all those countries. I thought you were just doing Malaysia. So let's get in deeper into this.
Okay, all right. So in terms of what I do, So the main agenda is to understand what is the need of the customer, right? What are they actually trying to achieve first? So it's not just about trying to sell someone something that maybe does not really benefit them. It's more about understanding what they want to achieve and how maybe the technology that I have within my portfolio at the time can fit in with their objectives. So there's a lot of discovery involved where I ask them questions in terms of their roadmap, their plans. If it's a platform, what kind of platform is it? What kind of capabilities do they need? What are they actually trying to, what problem are they trying to solve, or what challenges are they trying to solve? So there's a lot of discovery involved in the process. So from there, I can then assess what supporting technologies they require. I believe there was someone that said every company is a technology company, even if you sell bicycles. you know um, there's always an opportunity to leverage on technology to help you grow your business, to scale, to increase your market share within your own environment, or if it's on a larger scale as well. So it's a lot of education as well, educating the customer on how they can implement certain technological advances and to help them reach their goals, because sometimes, like you said, they're not really tech savvy, but uh, so you have to explain to them what other people within the industry are doing and how that can help them, how it can help them reach their bottom line, how can help them save on costing, how can help them in their general day-to-day operations to become more efficient and effective as well. So it's a lot of teaching, a lot of discovery in the initial process before you go towards zeroing in on a specific product or solution and actually closing a deal.
Great. You know what? One thing about me is I really suck at sales. So I'm listening attentively so that I can learn how to sell. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, yeah. And then the areas that you're covering at the moment, which countries or regions that you're responsible?
Yes. So I'm mainly responsible for Australia and New Zealand, but
Mhm.
sometimes I do cover other countries within Asia Pacific, so within Southeast Asia. So some once in a while, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, um, Indonesia, Philippines, but that's just once in a while. But mainly it's Australia and New Zealand.
Is there like language barrier in certain areas where possibly you can't then possibly make a sale because they would want you to speak their language?
Yes. So there is definitely language barriers. I mean, but so countries like Malaysia and Singapore, their English is okay.
Okay.
But other Southeast Asia countries and then countries like Hong Kong, China, and so forth definitely do need to have the language as well in order to they speak English, but they prefer to speak their own
One language.
native language. Yeah.
What is the uptake of technology that you're selling in these regions? Is there are people buying into these solutions or people are building their own solutions?
So okay, your question is in two parts.
Yeah.
Are they building or are they buying, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, right now, I'm a Google Cloud partner. So Google Cloud does not sell pre-built solutions, which is what they call solutions as a service, right? So
Yeah.
it's more towards infrastructure for people who want to build most of the time, right?
Mhm.
They do have a few solutions that are pre-built, but it's mostly in infrastructure as a service platform as a service, as opposed to just buying off the shelf software.
Mhm.
And I will tell you that compared to Africa, people in this region, they are building all the time, a lot, a lot. So when you talk to people, you hear their ideas and they keep I've talked to many founders because right now I'm supporting SMB. So I've talked to many founders, and then you'll see most of the time they have like 3 or 4 startups under their rack that they're trying. Some of them fail, but they still start another one, which I feel like we're not really doing a lot of in Africa. So they are really trying so many things. They build this idea, okay, it doesn't work. They try something else. Okay, it doesn't work. They try something else. So it's they're moving very fast. So I think in terms when if we're looking at it from an African perspective, I think we're a bit slow in terms of adoption and trying new ideas and figuring it out.
I hear you. I think I'll talk on my behalf, right? It's TNG Solutions. We're an African tech company, right?
Yeah.
At the moment, we're building
Mm,
a human capital management system,
mm,
right?
mm,
We've built an events management platform. That was
mm.
last year. So the culture of building, I would like to think there is a culture of building now. Our challenge possibly is funding.
Yes.
That's what I think. I think our challenge is funding at the moment.
Mm,
Not sure how or what ideas are they funding in the places like Australia and Europe. What are the ideas that are these ideas far-fetched, different from what we are actually coming up with?
mm.
Um, so give me an example of an idea, and then maybe I'll try to relate to what I've experienced on this side.
Okay. Let me touch on the funding thing.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how things are happening back home, but in these regions, for example, they have a lot of venture capitals, right? And so these are people who are willing to put in money to try. So I don't know how much of that we have back home to support people's ideas, right? Because, like you said, it's one thing to have an idea; it's another thing to actually be able to have the resources to execute. So they have a lot of VCs. Google does have a startup program, but the startup program does have its criteria, which often includes VC funding. Reason being, even if they give you credits for a year or 2 years, they are hoping that maybe in the 3rd year you're going to be able to start funding yourself, right? So they look at all these things to say, okay, is this project actually going to start earning enough money within the space of time to sustain itself? Then we can support, right? But then if they feel that maybe it's not, the project is not yet ripe, then you might not be eligible. But definitely there are startup programs in Africa. If you go to Google, under Google startups, you should be able to see the programs available for African
Yeah.
startups. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen them. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the
Definitely.
criteria often involves, the criteria can be quite high sometimes.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
yeah. So 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 that is a challenge in terms of funding. In terms of the ideas themselves, it can be anything, to be honest. It really can be anything.
Mhm.
Genuinely, it can be anything. And I um this is where as Africans, as entrepreneurs, people in tech, we really need to find a way to buckle up, because these people are creating solutions that are solving the problems that they have, right? So
Mm.
I can't come and tell you that, oh, copy this idea, because maybe that doesn't really solve the problem in Zimbabwe or in South Africa or in Botswana,
No,
you,
definitely. Mm,
you see
mm,
what I mean? So we really need to be able to sit back and say, okay, what are the challenges that we're having? It can be a very simple thing, a day-to-day thing, right? But if you can solve it using technology, that's already an idea. So that's actually what they're doing. They're solving their own problems using technology. So it's not about, I would say, my opinion would be, it's not about copying what they're doing. It's about us figuring out what are our challenges, our
Mm,
especially day-to-day challenge. I think that's what innovation is. What are our
yeah,
challenges? Can we solve it?
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Mm.
So one dream that we all have as Africans, as in the tech, is to work with brands like Google, SAP, and all that stuff. How is it working with Google? It's something that is really, really amazing for us as Africans to achieve that, you know.
Mm.
So congratulations in any case, because I mean you've really achieved to work with Google.
I think it's amazing because I get to hear people's ideas every day. And that inspires me a lot.
Mhm.
I get to see how they do business and what their business model is like. I wish we had the whole day to discuss that, you know.
Yeah,
So it really is like a good opportunity to learn a lot of things that the average person wouldn't know. Not because they can't, but simply because they don't have the access to the information, right?
yeah,
So it really is interesting. It's opening. Um, like I mentioned, you get to see how much people are really working on their ideas, the things that they're doing, the things that they're building, how they're succeeding, and what challenges they're facing through that process. So yeah, I think for anybody working for this kind of company does really help in that way.
definitely. Let's talk about AI. We can't say goodbye without talking about AI, right? Um, how much of disruption has AI caused in your industry, basically, right? I would like to believe AI is disrupting almost everything, but how much of that disruption has AI caused in your industry?
So a lot,
Mhm. Yeah.
a lot. uh, but it's I feel like people are panicking. AI is gonna take our jobs, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but in reality, uh, AI is a bit far from taking your job. Some people's jobs, yes, but only if you're doing a job where you're not adding value.
Oh, yeah. I felt that. Okay.
No, it's because right now, as it is, there are a lot of there are a
Yes.
lot of things that AI still can't do. So if right now AI is taking your job, that means probably you were not adding. It's not to slight anyone, but it's just that if you maybe your role is obsolete, you know.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes. So now, if you are in a specific role, you need to always be upskilling.
Yeah.
And this is why I was saying certifications are better than a university degree, because if you're a member of a lot of these certification associations, they always require you to upskill every single year. So they also upgrade the content that they're giving you to upskill so you continue to be relevant, right? So imagine, like, I think maybe 10 years ago, we all used to write, I have skills in Microsoft Office.
Yeah.
Now it goes without saying, you just have to have it. It's not something that is special anymore, you
Yeah.
know.
Definitely.
You know.
Definitely. We need more.
So so I don't even write that I know how to use Microsoft Office anymore because I'm expected to know that. So what
Yeah.
else do I know about that? Right? So if you don't want AI to take your job, then learn how to use AI. Learn how to use it. This is where it's going. People who know how to use it effectively and efficiently are the ones who are going to be employed in the future.
In terms of Google services, what are these startups? Are they building more of AI solutions, or is just more solutions? Yeah.
So what happens is you can have whatever platform you have, right? But AI can be an incorporation into that platform to add on other capabilities, right? So that is what most people are doing, meaning you already have your application, you have your HR platform that you're building, right? You can add on AI capabilities that make it easier maybe for your HR reps to do their work on a daily basis, or help maybe employees within that company to actually access certain things or access certain information using AI, meaning, for example, conversational AI, generative AI, and so forth. So that's how they're incorporating. So a lot of companies are incorporating those capabilities into their existing platforms to enhance the platform's capabilities.
And how do you intend to probably enhance yourself as a salesperson using AI?
Well, recently I've been learning how to. I'm not sure the new buzzword now after AI is agentic AI.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been learning how to build AI agents slowly
Mm,
but surely. Yeah. So that's definitely something because my job can also be taken by AI.
mm.
But then if I know how to build AI agents, then I can move on to the next level of that in terms of automating
Oh,
my day-to-day
okay.
workflows and so forth. And it then creates a new role,
I
basically.
get you. So you're basically building yourself some assistants.
Yes, basically. Yeah.
Okay. That's so cool. That's so cool. So last week, not last week actually, I think it might be last week, I think. Albania, um, they have what an AI minister, not a person, but
Oh, really?
yeah, this minister is generated by AI, right?
Mm,
Apparently, this is to curb corruption and all that stuff, right? And I think one of the discussions that we had last week was, should your company have an AI department? How far are we going to take it to embrace AI within organizations as a culture? What do you think about that? And how is it going in Malaysia and the rest of the world?
I think it's a bit tricky because
Yeah.
when you're dealing with humans, you still need human element to it. I don't quite remember the company name, but there is a company that literally laid off all the employees and replaced them with AI. It really didn't last that long. I will
It's-
look for the company for you. Forgotten the name
yeah,
of it. This was last year, beginning of this year. I'm not quite sure, but they did that. They fired everybody, and then they put in AI agents. But then because there was no human element, it really quickly went downhill very fast. So in things that are high human contact, it's I think it always does require a certain human element to it. So we would need to regulation and governance is very important.
yeah. But
Mm,
then what I'm talking about is not basically replacing the
mm,
humans,
mm,
but it's more like having a parallel structure within your organizational structure that really deals with AI, maybe AI research, AI enhancement, finding gaps within your company that
mm.
would maybe possibly be enhanced with AI to basically
Yeah.
up your
So,
game, basically.
yeah, okay. So that I'm definitely on board with that. Like as you mentioned, it would definitely curb things like um corruption because it's not really sentimental about anything. It's just uh reviewing or verifying the facts as they are, you know.
Mm,
So from an operational standpoint, I think AI is really amazing. It does a lot of amazing things. It makes life easier, makes us more efficient. It's like a tool to help us uh, do better. So that I would definitely agree with them.
definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, so Fadzai, I think we actually getting to the end of our episode. Do you have any parting words?
I think I would just want to encourage especially people from Africa to start building, because I believe
Mhm.
that we should really start focusing on building our own stories. As I mentioned, that a lot of the time we adopt things that are coming foreign, which are not really solving the problems or challenges that we are facing as Africans within our respective countries. So I think we need to really take it more upon ourselves to invest in ourselves and invest in technologies that solve our problems specifically, rather than relying on what comes in from other regions that may not necessarily address the challenges that we're trying to address.
No, thank you. I think that's some beautiful words there. Definitely to add value to what startups are trying to do back here in Africa. There's a lot of movement. People are trying their best just to get foothold into the market.
Mm,
I think also maybe when you have meetings with Google, maybe you should tell them to invest more into Africa. Invest more into Africa, bring in probably cheaper services, I should say. I think one of the challenges is really hosting becomes more expensive.
mm,
Uh, Hosting becomes very expensive, and when you're a startup and you're bootstrapping all the way, you can't survive. You know what I
mm,
mean? It's like a mountain to climb, basically. If you have a soft starting, definitely you have an opportunity to crack it. And
mm,
talking of Google funding, yes, we have applied it. We applied for that funding back in 2021, 2020,
mm,
2021. Yeah, with the farmers marketplace that we build, farmers marketplace where farmers and buyers would meet to purchase, the produce and all the stuff. But unfortunately, we were in a competition with other companies. Some had
yeah,
already been well established in that same
mm.
industry, and they got that funding from Google. So we are pretty much aware of some of these opportunities, but there's also competition and everything that comes our way.
you,
So
you,
yeah,
you know, I will just be honest with you, Alvin.
yeah,
When it comes to this, um, no one is coming to fund us. We need to fund ourselves, to be honest,
definitely, definitely,
because um, for them it's about the bottom line, right?
yeah.
What is in it for them, just like with any business, right? So they might not be as motivated as you are, right? So I think as nations within Africa, we need to start looking within ourselves, because what will eventually happen is we will just take what somebody else built
Mm,
eventually, because we can't afford, or I mean, and as an individual we can't afford to build what we want to build, right? So there is a need. I don't know if it's on a governmental level, on a social level, or wherever. There
mm.
is a need where we need to start investing in these things, or else we're already behind. But
W- I don't know whether we're far behind, but there's
it's very
something that really, yeah. So there's something that really concerns me when it comes to government. You're saying government should really look into funding maybe entrepreneurs within their own countries, right? Like
mm,
South Africa, Zimbabwe, and all that stuff. Trust me, government can host a function,
mm,
can host an event,
mm,
and they won't even look at an event management software that is built within South Africa
mm.
to work on that event. They'll rather get a software from America that does
You
the
see
same
the
thing.
problem. You see the problem.
You know what I mean? That does the same thing, or from Europe, and they're still gonna pay loads of money because if they reinvest that money within the startups, I mean that will grow the economy. I
You
don't know
see?
how China. I don't know how China does it, but I'm
Mm,
assuming China does that because then if you go to China, they've got their own version of all the softwares that we use
everything.
here.
Yeah.
You
Mm,
know what I mean? So I'm assuming that they build their own and they get funded by government there in China.
mm,
I haven't researched much on them, but I'm just making an assumption
mm,
on how they do it. But
mm.
you are completely right. If the government can actually reinvest into startups in South Africa or Zimbabwe, I mean, we'll definitely be a mile ahead, or we will be very competitive on the
Yeah.
world stage.
Yes.
But
Because
we're not.
yeah,
Yeah.
our issue is not intellectual
No,
resources.
no.
It's the infrastructure. It can be as
Mm.
simple as having a laptop, you know, or access to Wi-Fi, before we even get to the compute side, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So there is need, for example, why I say that they're far ahead, because right now, um in Australia and New Zealand, every high school child has access to a Chromebook.
Mm. I need to buy one for my son is going to high school next year. I need to buy one, and I mean, yeah, and I'm fortunate to afford, and I can imagine
Mm.
those who can afford that.
You see?
You know, so that's a challenge.
So already, if a child has access to a laptop and Wi-Fi, they can already start doing things, right? By the
Mm.
time they graduate from high school, they know things maybe more than I even know, because a lot of all these, for example, aside from Google, there's when it comes to generative AI, there's so many like N8N, there's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's so many. They can already play around with all those things at a very early stage. By the time they get to university, it's not a new thing to them. So when it comes to actually building things, right? And all these programs, by the way, you can create code using them, right?
Mm.
So so it makes a lot of things very simple. But then the average child uh, in Zimbabwe does not have access to a laptop, let alone Wi-Fi.
Yes. Yeah, true. But everything is quite expensive. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
yeah.
So when you start from there, then how can they start building? They can't, So if we can start even from the grassroots level, there's so many ideas out there. It's just that the infrastructure is not available for most
Mm.
people to kind of, like you said, it's too expensive. It's so you just have nowhere to start.
True. No, I like this conversation. This is an eye-opening conversation, and I hope that we'll have more conversations as we go.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for coming to Tech Pod.
Yeah. Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching this episode, and see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and engage. Share this with your friends. And what we started doing as well is on Spotify, we are now posting our videos. So it's no longer just an audio file, but it's a video file. So yeah, check it out on Spotify. And yeah, see you in the next episode.